even made a comment on her page. I said, you know what? I feel as if I need to retell this story because I told this story on my first page and it was a hit. And so here we are. So let me just get to, and for the record, there's a reason why I have a Patreon for story times like this, because when I tell you I suck at changing names or trying not to say the person's name or saying A, B, I suck, because I forget. See, when I tell a story, you know, when you're telling the truth, it just comes naturally and I'm just, you know, spitting out facts or whatever. So when I have to stop and think about changing someone's name, it does not work. And recently, a lot of people, not a lot, but well, a decent amount of people on my Instagram is finding me from my hometown. That being said, if I actually mention the person's name, let's just say I can't. I'm sorry. Okay, let me get to. So, if you don't know, I went to school in Albany College, and I had this friend that actually stayed behind because she could not afford to go away to college. Now, let me just say that, well, first off, she actually went to a community college, and I'm here to say that there's absolutely nothing wrong with a community college. Nothing. Actually, you know, if many of us went to community college, a lot of us wouldn't have, you know, all this student debt. But anyway, so it was around the holidays and she wanted to come up to visit. And so I told her that the best time to come up would be the week of Thanksgiving because, you know, we had extra time off, and that if she took the bus, I would be able to drop her home because I was driving home for the holidays anyway. So she decided that she wanted to come up on Saturday. Okay, cool. And so while I'm in school, I actually started talking to somebody, and we actually hit it off really well. You know, we were getting along. We did not have the same classes though because we did not have the same major. You know, after school, after classes, we were always together. We had dinner, and also too, I didn't get along with my roommate in college, right? But I got along with his roommates. So his setup was a little bit differently. So in Albany, there's different dorms, sizes, and everything else depending on what building you are in. Now, I don't know if things have changed, but this was 20 plus years ago. But back then, sometimes there was 4 to a unit. What does that mean? Well, when you open up the door, there was like a living room area with a TV, little couches or whatever. There was a bathroom, shower, and then there was a door on each opposite side, and in those doors was 2 people to a room. So total, it was 4 to a unit, 2, and then the 4 would share that bathroom, the living space, the living room, the microwave. It was like their little apartment, very tiny, but you know. So anytime I went over there, I could sit in the living room and people can come out. I didn't have to go in anyone's room if I didn't want to, or like if me and this person wanted privacy, the roommate would come out and stay on the couch or whatever, that type of thing. And so coming, and that if we can leave a little earlier, we needed to. And then I explained that I could not leave earlier because I actually had an exam that I had to sit for on Tuesday. And then once that was done with, we all could leave, because again, Thanksgiving was that Thursday. And so again, we spent the whole weekend together. Now come Monday, And at first, it was like, I don't know, I wasn't sure what it was, but I remember waking up like, what is that? And that's when I looked around and I saw that one of the roommates were one way and then the other roommate was on the floor. And then I happened to look over, right? And there was other people, and then it was my boyfriend and my friend. Now, like I said, it was pitch dark, so truthfully at one point I wasn't sure what I was looking at. I was still trying to like figure out the noise and figure out where everybody was at, and I also check like on the weather and see like if it was clearing up or whatever. And so that's when, like I said, I woke up and realized where people were. As I was like, God, okay, get up, get to the window and see what's going on. So as I was attempting to do that, right? Because also too, it's clear I had a hangover, or I don't know. As I'm in bed, like arguing myself, I'm hearing the. I'll hear my stomach. I'm hungry, but like I hear. It was getting a little bit more, and then I kind of moved the bed a little bit, like so it could squeak, and then all of a sudden that sound stopped, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. I didn't know what I was thinking at first, but then I stood still, and then I laid back down, and then when I laid back down, I noticed that the roommate that was on the floor, he was awake, and he even said, "Do you hear that?" And he said. So now it's two of us. So, but the dude that was in the bed with me, that his feet was in my face, he was still snoring. Like that roommate, no matter what, a bomb could have went off, he wasn't getting up. So, he told me to and stop moving. So I stopped, and we're just looking at one another, like we didn't want to move. And then I hear it again. We both hear it. We hear it. And you know, some of y'all might be laughing, and you know, a lot of y'all, some of y'all like gum chewing, and you like that sound, right? But for those who are not used to it, and like the room was completely silent, it was one of those, what the fuck is that, right? And so but every time we heard I would like move again just to make sure I wasn't tripping. And him and the guy on the floor, we knew what was going on, right? So then he was like, don't, for a while. He told me don't move for a while. me right now. When I tell you that I'm actually ashamed to say it, but I did it. Fuck it. You know, when I put the lights on and she was sucking his dick, I was so mad. I took her head and I was like, "You bitch," like that. And she, oh yeah, and then my boyfriend was like, "Ah," like I guess there was teeth or whatever. Not my problem. Again, let me give you a better visual. I put on the motherfucking light and I saw this little bitch under the goddamn covers. I pulled the covers back and this bitch was sucking his dick. What did I do? I said, as she was sucking, I made sure her head went all the way down to the I wanted her to throw up on his dick. That's my whole point. I was like, "You bitch," and put her head down really, 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 really hard and fast. And then he started screaming, and then she's like, and now she can't talk, but she's like, "Oh my god, oh my god," and then she's half naked, and then she runs into the bathroom, and then as she's trying to shut the door, I put my foot there like, "No, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck," and I'm trying to grab her through the motherfucking bathroom. Your girl went ballistic. I'm trying to grab her and she's trying to close the door on my whole arm, but my foot was at the bottom, so she couldn't close the door. Meanwhile, all the guys are up now. All the guys are up, and when I tell you, my boyfriend's like, grab her, meaning me. Now, back then, I was like a $110 wet, okay, and his roommate was like 320 football player. Like there was no hope. But even him, I was not having it somehow or another. My skinny ass, or maybe it was the adrenaline at the time. I don't know. But when I tell you, I almost said his name. God damn it. Sorry, when I tell you, I was no match for that person. I was not. I don't know. I wiggled myself out of it and I'm breaking. I am trying to bust down this door. And now people in the other rooms were now calling the front desk. They knew something was wrong. The front desk is calling. I don't give a fuck. You hear me? I don't give a fuck. If I had to bust down that door, put a hole in it, I didn't care. I was getting inside. I was fucking getting inside. So by now, we had one of the roommates trying to get me, and then now the second one is trying to like tackle me or restrain me. I don't even know. But again, I was going, I can't even explain to you how, because like I said, it wasn't so much that they even did what they did. It was a factor that, to see what happens. And they stopped. So the fact that you didn't mean to, y'all didn't stop. Like, you said, uh-oh, she might be awake. No, she's not. Let's continue. Like, and then I'm listening to y'all kiss, and then I'm listening to you undo his belt buckle, and then I'm listening to the zipper, and then you're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me that you didn't. That she's like, she didn't mean it. It wasn't what it was like. Well, what it looks like is my boyfriend is still on the bed holding his dick, because clearly when I pushed your head down, the scraping on the teeth fucked him up, so he was fucked up. Now, and actually, this motherfucker had the audacity. After all of this, he was like, well, can you at least give me a washcloth with some cold water or some ice? Nigga, no. The fuck? Did you really ask me for some cold water and some fucking ice? Like, the audacity of it all. So finally, right, I was like, okay, cool. I was like, you know what, I'm good. I was like, I'm good. I'm so good. And he's yelling to my friend in the bathroom, don't get up no matter what she says. Don't leave the bathroom. Don't leave the bathroom. And I'm like, you know what? She don't got to. So I nicely got my stuff together, and everybody's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I had nothing to say. And like I said, I was gathering all my stuff, and then I went outside. I popped my trunk. And you would think now that me popping my trunk, I was giving them their stuff. Not a chance. Cause see, at this moment, it's like, it must be like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm not really sure. And by now, like I said, the front desk is going ballistic. The people are coming out. The hotel room trying to figure out what's going on. People are standing outside. I don't give a shit. And she's crying, and my friend is yelling to somebody to call the cops. I'm crazy. So I just left the room, popped my trunk. I got my stuff to clean off my car. The snow nicely just cleaned everything off. I started my car. I started with the defroster, all that stuff, right? So then, the one that was on the floor, you know, that was like throwing up, that was like actually heard, like the one that was on the floor that heard everything that was going down with me, he came running out. He was like, I know you're not gonna leave me here. He goes, because I did absolutely nothing, which was true, because the other one that fell asleep in the bed with me, you know, he was talking all that shit like, calm down, you know, friends should share, friends men, or some bullshit. Like, he's trying to, anyway, listen, I just had to get out of there. And then he was like, I didn't do anything. I was like, you know what, you're right. I was like, just nicely go and grab your coat and stuff. He parking lot. I am just dumping shit out of my car. I'm chucking shit. I'm chucking shit. I'm chucking shit. I don't want none of this shit in my car. I'm chucking shit. I get on the highway. I'm still chucking shit. I'm still chucking shit out the window. I didn't give a fuck. I did not give a fuck. I threw his wallet out the window. All his school ID. I threw her shit out the window. I was throwing her books out the window. I did not give a fuck. The time I dropped off one of my boyfriend's roommates, we were laughing because there was nothing left in the car except for his stuff and mine. Like, there was nothing. And like I said, he wasn't as close with them as the two I left back. And I always knew that he had a problem with them too, but I never got involved. And so he didn't care. He was actually helping me dump shit. And so the funny thing is that like when I got home, I got home at an awkward hour, of course, and I told my mom everything that happened, and I just went to sleep. The Thanksgiving came and everything, and the guy that I actually dropped off, he was actually asking if I was going back to school on Monday and if I could pick him back up. Absolutely, because here's the thing, who wants to drive by themselves? I didn't, and technically he didn't do nothing to me, and he was the only one that actually checked up on me the rest of the week that we were home. And do you know, on Saturday night, my friend actually came with her parents to my house. You got to be shitting me. And then I opened the door and it was her father or something, and she's like, "Young lady, we gotta talk." I was like, "No, we don't." He was like, "Yeah, we do." I was like, "No, we don't." And by now my mother is coming downstairs or whatever, and my mother's like, "What's going on?" And then he said, "Are you informed that your daughter left my daughter and at the hotel or whatever 2.5 hours out from like home or whatever?" And my mother looked at me and was like, see, she didn't know, like, she knew this story, but she didn't know like I left him. I'm not really sure what my mother thought, but I definitely wasn't trying to hide the fact that I left him. So she was like, so what happened? I was like, I left her. And her father was like, you see, and you got rid of this, you got rid of that, and I want you to pay for, the books that you throw out the window and blah, blah. I said, I ain't paying for shit. And so he was like, excuse me. I said, okay, maybe you didn't hear me. I ain't paying for shit. I said, it's funny. I said, because you're the only one that has the balls to come here and ask for some money